We've all encountered bad melodrama and experienced the head shaking that it can cause. But when drama is done right, it can be some of the most emotionally resonant and affecting experiences out there. The shows here cover a vast variety of topics, but they all share one thing: your heart hurts just a little bit while watching them. Your nominees for Best Drama of 2022 are
適切な距離をちゃんと取り、相手のモーションを観察、次の動きを予測する。そして取れ、キック。
本が読めるんです
待ってください。
悪いな。
スパレット。かわいいね。みんな殺せの日。光ち
ぶれないパフォーマンス、そして名ばため春の抜群の観察眼と調整力。春は今までダンスに差がある京香とリオのバランスを整えるため。
Your jury winner for Drama 2023 is Radio Starlight the movie. And the public winner is Ascendance of Bookworm Season 3.
Joining us to talk about these lovely winners and rankings is none other than Wolf, who is like the man behind the curtain, the mastermind behind what you're experiencing right now. So if there's anything about the stream that you do like or don't like, it's this guy.
Yeah, we did full circle. I was a jury representative for Drama on my first year, and now I'm a guest for Drama. Full circle, baby.
Talk about social mobility. And also joining us is Kay from the category. Hi, Kay.
Hi, Wilson.
Are you the 744th K, like Hokage, or?
I know not what happened with the ones who came before me.
Oh no. Okay, I'll be nice then. Wolf, what do you think of these? When did you get to see the Review Starlight movie?
I did not actually. In the true guest fashion, I've only seen 2 of these, so I'm gonna be learning about the rest of them from Kay.
It's like so good though. It's I had the great opportunity to see it at, I believe, Anime Central, and man, it's basically what I feel like it is. It's basically just the series, but told in a more compact and more like visually impressive way, which I can see why some people would dislike that, seeing as it is kind of a retread of some of the same themes. But is that what you thought in the jury, Kay?
Yeah, that's what it was more or less. And the movie sort of abandoned the fantasy subplot which was going on in the TV series, which we thought kind of cut out a lot of the chaff in a sense. And so it's like when you think of drama, what comes to mind mostly is just conflict between characters, and which are resolved primarily through dialogue of some sort. And the Review Starlight movie just focuses exclusively on that for most of its runtime. So yeah, that's what stood out mostly.
And what also stands out to me is that we have the classic awards case where the public winner is last in the jury. But was it a case of this was just a really strong year, or were there stuff about Ascendance of a Bookworm 3 that didn't really resonate with the jury members?
It's primarily due to the ending. So most of the jurors were lukewarm on pretty much the whole season, except like the last couple of episodes, where something happened which one or two of us pointed out, and eventually the rest of us just picked up on, and we were like, "Oh yeah, no, this doesn't work."
I mean, I have to say, I was quite disappointed because when I first saw Bookworm in, all the way when it aired in season 1, it's got this like kind of cute like small stakes vibe to it where the main appeal for at least for me, or the mine appeal at least for me, is mine. But over time it becomes less about her making little cute little things for her family and more into this kind of weird political intrigue situation. And I think as it goes on, it kind of gets lost for me.
Yeah, exactly. So like the seasons of the bookworms slowly kept moving away and from her family. So even when the political side is introduced in the first season, it primarily centers around how this calls into question how long she's going to be able to stay with the family. But by the end of season 3, it's the show sort of introduces some heavy-handed elements which make it seem like that conflict is sort of lost.
Anything you want to any burning desire to talk about anything, Wolf? Any strong thoughts on drama?
I actually was. I have a question. I was curious, how's Legend of the Galactic Heroes newest season, or these two like parts that got second place? Did the show get better as it go along? And by the show, I mean the reimagining or reboot that has been going on for the past few years, or is it still like faithfully accurate to the original series, or is it doing something different?
It's diverging a little. It's not. It hasn't diverged from the OVA as such, but it's trying to stay as accurate as possible to the books. And the so right now we on screen, and right now we have the third and fourth seasons, which aren't as strong as the first two seasons, admittedly, but it still moves along the plot a lot and is still engaging. It's the same Legend of the Galactic Heroes that everyone knows and loves.
Do you think that if instead of just the third and fourth season, it was seasons 1 through 4, it would have beat out Review in this instance?
That's a little bit difficult to answer, but I think it would have much. I think it would have had a better chance at doing that.
You know, we've got a lot of movies this year. Because
Yeah,
for
we've had.
example, go ahead.
Yeah, we've had movies like Fortune Favors Lady Nikuko. So this was a movie which is fairly unknown, but this stood out because it tells a very cohesive story through like every element of its being, like the visuals and the sound design. Everything focuses on making the town it's set in feel like a lively place, and at the end of the movie, that sort of comes together with the story in a really beautiful manner. Then there were also a few shortlists like Drifting Home, which is by the same person who worked on Penguin Highway. And there's also Summer Ghost, which was a short film of around 40 minutes. But sadly, those didn't really end up making the cut.
Oh, Summer Ghost! I watched that at why am I watching all these at conventions? I watched that Anime Frontier. I know. Oh, big rich hosts all the money to go to all the conventions.
Or like fake anime fan who only watches when it's at a con anymore because
Hey,
not gonna waste your time on it at home.
I'm up to date on Villain Saga. Okay.
Okay.
Speaking of best drama for next year, maybe. So when I'm looking at this list, it seems like there's a pretty interesting variety. I mean, that's kind of been the theme of the awards this year. Is that every category has never been just like 8 representations of the same thing, just told slightly differently. Here you have an isekai, you have this kind of like nice put together story of Fortune Favors Lady Nikuko. Then you have, of course, a legend like Legend of Galactic Heroes that everyone knows and loves and is being remade. How do you approach analyzing and evaluating such different series in the way that they do drama? Is it at the very base level still the same thing at the end of the day?
Sort of is for most of the part, because in drama, what really matters is the characters. And at the end of the day, regardless of whether it's a sports show or if it's an idol show, or we also had a magical girl show as a shortlist. What matters is that they're telling the stories of the people we are seeing on screen. So that's what it comes down to in the end, where how well is the show sort of fleshing out the people it's presenting to us, their struggles and their interactions. That's what it matters.
And you've been mentioning a lot of shortlists. I also noticed that you don't have a very notable show, Dance Dance Danseur, that people may appreciate. Was it hard to cut down through everything? Did you have like a lot of choices, and was it hard to ultimately decide what would get nominated and not?
Yeah, it really was. So before the nominations were finalized, most of us had no idea what would actually end up getting. So Dance Dance Dancer was a really good show, and like it got a lot of attention when it was airing. But within our jury, most of us were a little bit soured by the ending, which sort of escalated certain things beyond what the rest of the show was trying to do.
Well, thank you for that. It's pretty insightful. I mean, again, people don't realize how much work goes into this and how much people actually have to watch. I guarantee you, they probably watched like 80% of all drama that came out this year. But Wolf, I have a question for you. What do you think of these personally? Does it match with your own ending ranking or?
Actually, what I want to say is that I really like Fortune Favors Lady Nikuko. It's a movie by the same team, mostly the same team, I believe, that did Children of the Sea, which is another just amazing looking movie. And in both cases, I just think they have just these gorgeous backgrounds and just this really lively animation that gives a lot of personality to the characters, and especially with the Nikuku herself, they did a sort of more cartoony, more sort of unrealistic, expressive style than usual, which really elevated this movie for me in many ways. But with some of the themes that it touches on, I can understand why it doesn't have that same sort of appreciation that Children of the Sea got.
And we also had a great AMA with the director of Lady Fortune's Nikuko on the subreddit, so you can go and see that. But I want to thank you guys for coming by and speaking with me today. I hope you guys learned a little bit about drama, and let's move on.